Hello everyone, Ryan here. So I recently saw The Zookeeper's Wife, and it is a movie adaptation of a novel by the same name, and in turn the novel is based on a true story. It's about this couple, the Zabinskis, or rather, the Zabinskis, in 1939 in Poland, and they ran this zoo, the Warsaw Zoo, and then of course one day, once Poland is invaded by Nazis, unfortunately their zoo is bombed, and of course a lot of the animals are hurt and even killed, and then they eventually become a part of the resistance, and they start using their zoo's hidden tunnels and cages to save families from the Nazis, of course, the Nazi brutality. And now, I kind of knew what to expect from this movie, but I really didn't expect that it was going to touch me as much as it did, because there's a lot of moments which really, really tug at the heartstrings and really make you feel just an extreme amount of empathy, and it's, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but yeah, it's, but then not only that, first off, I like the way it starts. I like that, it has this pleasant beginning, which I guess usually sometimes in these kinds of movies they have to do with Nazi occupation or before Nazi occupation. There's always some kind of pleasant beginning, and then eventually then the movie takes on a darker tone. And except with this, for me, it felt like there was more of a balance between, the lighter tone and darker tone, and not only that, it wasn't just about this Nazi occupation. It was, for me, I felt like it was mostly about the preservation of life. I guess, more accurately, the preservation of life and hope, and the need to persevere. And yeah, it's just, I really liked it. Definitely, I didn't enjoy the darker aspects of this, but the fact that there was enough good things in this, there was enough positive things in this to, I guess, kind of counter any of the darker aspects. And yeah, I don't know how else to explain it without spoiling too much of it. Jessica Chastain, she stars in it as Antonina Zabinska, or Zabinski, and she definitely gives an awesome performance in this. I don't remember the last movie I saw her in, but for me, I would say this, to be fair, I haven't seen every single movie she's been in, but for me, I consider this one of her best performances, if not the best so far. And yeah, I guess I will say maybe there were some parts when I could tell that her Polish accent was wavering a little bit here and there, and but she more than made up for it just with her acting prowess alone. And yeah, it was, and I like I will say, I mean, I know I said I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's one part in which, because after, you know, they convince this one zoologist, there's this one zoologist who is supposed to be like pretty much Hitler's zoologist, and they convince him to let them raise pigs in the zoo, and then also so that they could also feed some of the Nazi soldiers that are there. And at the same time, you know, this zoologist guy, he asks them, you know, well, what are they gonna, you know, where are you gonna feed the pigs? And they tell him, well, we can feed the pigs scraps that we collect from the ghetto. Of course, the ghetto being the place in which most of, I mean, a lot of the Jewish people were held. So then they do that, and then at the same time, that's how they're able to sneak out a small amount of Jews. Of course, I mean, it's like a gradual process, I guess. And and yeah, there's one particular moment in which involves a girl, and yeah, I wish I could talk about it without spoiling it, but that scene definitely got to me, because it's one of those scenes in which you know, makes you think about what it made me think and question, you know, that if I were in that situation, even if I were in a similar situation in which I knew someone desperately needed some kind of help, and I happened to be in a position to offer exactly that kind of help that they need, you know, maybe wonder, you know, would I actually be able to do it? Would I actually be able to help someone in need, and knowing that I'd be risking my own life? And yeah, it's, I mean, because now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever really like asked myself that question before. I've heard about I've seen other movies and read other stuff about people who ask themselves that question every now and then, but yeah, this was, I think, the first movie that actually caused me to ask myself that. And obviously I would like to think that I would help someone in a similar situation, you know, not only if I was able to give them that help that they need, but also too, I mean, you know, if I were to help someone at the risk of my own life, I mean, honestly, I'd like to believe that I would, but yeah, that's definitely a head scratcher. So yeah, I mean, as far as the rating goes, you know, I gotta give this a solid 9 out of 10. I would say at bare minimum 8.5, but could easily round it up to 9. So yeah, 9 out of 10. And also too, I mean, as far as the other performances go, I mean, yeah, Jessica Chastain, she gives a great performance. Pretty much the entire cast. Even some of the children that are in this give, even though they don't have lines, like not all the people in this have lines, but I mean, there's just, you know, the little, like, really small children in these particular scenes, and you know, just the way that they express so much emotion on their faces. And yeah, I mean, I would say, like, if you watch this movie and you're not affected by it, then I would say you're a robot. you're an unfeeling robot. I guess that's all I'll say about it. I don't want to ramble on more about it, but I definitely recommend watching it at least once. It is kind of long, but it's good. I mean, before you know it, it's pretty much, I guess the runtime is about 2 hours or something like that. But when I was watching it, those 2 hours seemed to fly by, and because I was that engrossed in it. So, yeah, again, I give it a 9 out of 10. That'll do it for my review of The Zookeeper's Wife. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, till next time, don't forget to keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.